Oh,
Sorry.
you started. Here we go. Okay. My name's Zach Napora. I'm a junior at the College of Worcester. Um, I play soccer there. I'm a neuroscience major, and I was an intern for Concussion Alliance over the summer.
That's super cool. What drew you into Concussion Alliance?
So I have kind of a unique way of finding Concussion Alliance, where I found it through like the patient side, where I had like a long-term concussion. Um, was looking for answers and just kind of stumbled upon the website and got a lot of help from it. And so when I was recovered, I saw that for some reason was back on the website, saw they had an internship program and applied from there.
That's super cool. Um, it's really cool to hear that you found it so helpful that you wanted to like continue creating more resources. Um, what were some highlights of your Concussion Alliance internship experience?
I would definitely say getting to work on the web page. Um, Me and a partner worked on the athletic training web page. And just having like a big like long-term project was really cool. And then like getting to interview all the people we got to interview for it was cool. And then just like kind of seeing it all come together and like actually going up on the website, it was very rewarding.
That's really cool. Did you interview athletic trainers?
Yeah. Um, I forget his name, but we interviewed like the head of athletic trainer, like in one of those organizations. So he had a lot of information.
Wow, that's really cool. When you you still play soccer. Do you find that you use that resource a lot of athletic trainers?
Um, I don't wouldn't say I use it a lot. It's been very like just working on it was eye-opening in that there's such a range of knowledge with athletic trainers when it comes to concussions. So it kind of exposed me to the fact that the athletic trainer at my school might not know a whole lot as opposed to, some of the experts in concussions and athletic training. Um, so I would say I've definitely used the information I gained from that project more than I've used like the actual web page.
That makes sense. Um, how, if at all, did Concussion Alliance influence your plans for the future?
I think it's influenced it a lot. I want to continue in this kind of like brain injury realm. Um, I have like from my college there's like a big like senior project. And so I'm kind of directing that project to a similar kind of style as Concussion Alliance. So I definitely would say it's impacted me.
That's really cool. Were you interested in neuroscience before you started your internship at Concussion Alliance, or was it sort of fueled?
A bit of both. So I was actually a psychology major um, coming into that summer. And then while I was working at the Concussion Alliance, I was doing like an online chemistry class so I could switch over to neuroscience. So as soon as I got to school in the fall, I switched over. So I would say like it was a combo of like just my brain injury getting me more involved in neuroscience, and then also, yeah, just the Concussion Alliance for sure.
It's really cool. Has Concussion Alliance connected you with other interns or professionals since your internship?
I think yeah, it definitely has. Our core cohort was like very close, I would say, even though it was like all Zoom. Um, we had a bunch of like Carleton women's soccer players, so I was like following their season a little bit just because I was curious, and it seemed like they did really well. So that was cool.
That's that's awesome. They play in the field right below my dorm, so I kind of
Oh yeah.
see them from an aerial view, and they did really well. Um, that's really cool. How did the internship help you more broadly?
Mm, I would say kind of just like all the things you said before you asked about like I would say it's definitely strengthened my interest in like brain injury research and neuroscience. And then the other thing it did was like all the guest speakers were really interesting and kind of like I learned a lot about different segments of the population that are like underserved when it comes to brain injuries. So especially like prison populations and domestic abuse cases, like stuff like that. So that was just stuff I never would have been exposed to.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I also, on your webpage, I read that there's a discrepancy in care for underfunded schools or like non-Title One schools, so that like the sorry, brain fog, so that the uh um minorities are underserved when it comes to like athletic training. And then the outcomes of their recovery is different. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a big problem.
what did you learn about concussions through the internship? Sorry. Did what you learned about about concussions through the internship impact your relationship with others?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Hold on, let me let my dog out real quick.
Yeah, no.
See about concussions. Um, I can give you an example. So for my soccer team, there was one instance where in the first half, one of our players got hit in the head. It was right next to me, and I thought it was like a pretty hard impact. Um, but he was saying he was fine, whatever. Um, so he ended up going back in the game, and I could tell his like balance was sort of off. So I like, told our coach whatever, he got pulled out, and it turned out he had a concussion. So I think it's just kind of that thing, like being an advocate on your campus is something that I think we all, like all of the interns kind of gained in the internship. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So would you say you're kind of like a substitute athletic trainer?
I wouldn't give myself those qualifications. But yeah, I mean, it was an away game, so we didn't have an athletic trainer there. So I think, yeah, just having like someone to advocate with like the knowledge that we have was like, it was useful in that scenario.
Nice. Um, so you said you experienced a concussion. Did you use like what website specifically? I mean, what link on the website specifically helped you besides was it, you said it was vestibular um that helped you sort of understand your concussion better?
I think it was a combo of different ones. I definitely looked at the vestibular page. I definitely looked at like the like college student specific page because that's what I was. Um, I think I looked at like the marijuana concussion one. Like I think I remember just kind of browsing, and really my takeaway was like it was just nice to have everything like succinct and together, like all the information, and it seemed like very reliable stuff.
Yeah, sort of right at your fingertips. So I think that's helpful because it's kind of
Mhm.
demoralizing to have to go and seek out so many different pieces of information.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, did using the site influence your decision to apply for the internship? You said that you saw the internship on the website. Um, was it just because the website had helped you so much that you were like, yeah, I want to help out with the internship?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't think I would have found it without my like previous experience using the website, and I wouldn't have been as motivated to apply for sure.
That makes sense. Um, how did your internship experience at Concussion Alliance change your perspective on your concussion experience?
It was very cool to talk with other people who like a lot of our group had gone through similar experience with like a longer term concussion. And then I remember I had one like one-on-one meeting with Connor because it was pretty close to like my internship was fairly recent from my head injury. So it was like the exposure to all the information was like, yeah, sorry, let me let the dog in. Um, so yeah, basically we had me and Connor had like a one-on-one meeting and just him like telling his story was very cool because it just mirrored mine in a lot of ways. So I think just like having that kind of group with a lot of us with a shared experience was very beneficial.
Yeah, I've experienced that myself. It's interesting because I had all my concussions from soccer too. And I didn't see the website, so I didn't know that those resources were available. Um, but I would say that that was a large part of the reason I wanted to do the internship was because of my persistent symptoms and my continuing to deal with those things. I wanted to help others like you.
Yeah, nice.
And it's really nice to have a community of people who understand.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you for your interview. I hope your dog is doing well.
He's laying down right now, so he should be good. If you guys need anything else from me though, just let me know.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.